we getting closer to being over the target? Are we seeing more censorship across all of the platforms? Are we watching the President of the United States publish video of ballots being picked up in the state of California the day after the election? The day after the election was called for California to be blue. And here we are, these ne'er-do-wells picking up 5-6 bags of ballots. Did they ever arrive? How much fraud has happened in the privatized balloting system, in the actual legal put your mail-in ballot here? Did those get delivered? How are they able to find 6 of them buried under a rock in the middle of the desert? What is the technology being used in order for them to come find those? I have no idea, folks. But what I will tell you today is that Alaska was put on the board for us, the good guys. So that's right, another 3 electoral votes plus. We get a congressional win, we get a Senate win, and the red wave continues to slowly morph across this country. We've witnessed a national car crash. Every single member of this nation witnessed a car crash. And just like all witnesses to all car crashes, everyone sees things in a different way, different parts of their pattern matching, and then their belief patterns come in. And you could have people who would swear that they saw something that really didn't happen, and people who always lie will continue to lie, and the people who always play it straight will continue to play it straight. It has been a national car crash. But does that mean that it was an accidental car crash? Was one car sent in to demolish the other car? Now we get into, do both cars have insurance? What is the legality of the drivers of those cars? And that's where we get into the real science and the real sleuthing of whether or not this national car crash, this election, is to be believed. I know one thing, when it comes to the voting and the voting systems put in place, certain states did their due diligence, like a state like Texas. When they saw the Dominion program and they ran the testing on it 3 different times, they said, no, we can't use this. It's easily hacked. It's easily undermined. And as a state, we could not trust these results. 3 different times they went in and did that test, and then they said no. Well, here's the good part about that, folks. Real data scientists went in and did the work to tell the state of Texas, don't use this software. This is how it breaks. This is how it gets broken. This is what it looks like when it does get broken. And those same people, folks, are now whistleblowers for the United States government to figure out, at a real deep state data nerd. Again, remember, what did Snowden tell us? They can go into your computer and make it look like something's there. They can go in there and make it look like something is there and was put in by another person. But the people who really know this stuff, the real true nerds, can see when evidence has been created, when evidence has been attempted to be covered up, and what is legit evidence and what isn't. And those same data nerds that worked against the Dominion system there in Texas are hard at work right now, looking at the systems in Georgia. We're now going to get a canvass, a recount, and an audit with real poll watchers. Hey, here's somebody's ballot. Well, what if the signature doesn't match? Bye. This person's dead. Bye. This person voted in person and sent a ballot in the mail. Bye. All of that stuff is going to be undone. Every single bit of it is going to be undone. What you're going to find out, folks, is that at every level of this, from the hourly poll worker to the city employee to the people at the state level, that everyone had their own tiny little hand in there doing their piece of the steel. The people on high who are running this gimmick from the beginning to have America sell itself out from within, guess what? They've got the best lawyers, they've got the best representation, and they have the best and the brightest looking out for them. Your hourly worker, your city employee, your state employee do not have that same level of protection. So when the feds come a-knocking and they start asking questions like they did to the gentleman, the whistleblower in Erie, who said that, hey, they had us backdate ballots, and you can't get the FBI or the DOJ to investigate anybody, but they were quick to show up to this guy's place and lean on him. And they leaned on him hard, and they even told him the tactics that they were using while they were using him. Did he recant? No. Did he sign a document saying that he didn't recant? Yes. Did he record the audio catching these very tactics online? Yes. Did the mainstream media ignore all of that and trot out a mass single narrative saying that that guy recanted a story? Absolutely. Just like they trotted out the story of this is the way the election went down, and this is Joe Biden in the office who doesn't exist, and this is Kamala Harris trying not to throw up while she laughs in your face as she pulls the lever as you get beheaded in a gulag because your rights were taken away by an hourly worker, by a city and a state level employee who only gives an F about this communist insurrection. The same people who are late to pick up ballots are the same people who are going to look the other way to watch this republic and my rights and your rights be taken away. It's not about winning. It's about ruining institutions. It's not about winning this illegal vote. It's about getting the illegal vote to supplant itself into your mind so you no longer trust any of these processes. And God bless, we're going to have hand auditing of the ballots, hand counting of the ballots. God, gladly we have a finite window when there was voting, a finite window when there was counting, and a finite tape, both an electronic tape and a paper tape of the information that was coming out of those machines. Which is why you can watch on the video, the numbers flip. 19,082 votes went from this candidate, added on to this candidate. And because we know, we have the tape and we know when it happened, then you could go back into every system that was running this illegal software, folks, and it's going to show you pinpointedly where to look. And again, when you have a car wreck, it's the same nerds that are there with the tape and how fast was he going. I can tell by the math of the distance and the length of the skid. Those nerds can tell you that part of the accident. The questions you get after the accident can talk to you about what was going on in the minds of the drivers before it happened. A quick look at the documents can tell you whether or not they were legally insured drivers when it happened. Everybody has a piece in this. And again, like we've said from the beginning, we're going to trust the processes entirely throughout this. And we're going to let the nerds do the nerd stuff. We're going to let the politicians do the politician stuff. We're going to let the media and the pundits continue to lie to us. Now, look, you realize that Fox News is hemorrhaging viewers so bad right now that they had to hire a public relations firm, folks? No, we're not the Fox News that lie. Well, we're the different Fox News. And now everybody's running over to Newsmax. I watch Newsmax, I watch OAN, NN, how many N's are in that? I watch it all. Now, mind you, they're not perfect either. Do you realize what kind of a complicit ability you have to have a hand in the cookie jar to becoming national voice in this country? So while you have all the patriots running from Fox News over to Newsmax, know that the fucking Newsmax people have been in the Hillary Clinton camp for years, folks. Know that this morning they put out a tweet that denigrated the Anon movement using a photo, which was quickly deleted because they were called out on it. The same Newsmax that said maybe Mike Pence should lead the transition. And like I said from the beginning, if you've been watching this, like the Godfather told us, my father taught me many things to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So for those of you wondering why the picture is on my Facebook, at Real John Toll and at John Toll, you may know now why I believe that picture is up there. Go find it yourself. In fact, go look at all of these stories yourself and do your own research, and do not just become a parrot. Be an eagle. Be an American first patriot. We win this. God wins.